Let me dig in something else. One thing I found that was very interesting is that you really came out in support for Bernie Sanders long before anyone thought he had a chance. I found way back, actually, let me be true. My producer found way back in June of 2015 that you actually endorsed or supported Bernie Sanders. And this is before anyone gave him a snowball's chance in hell. Help me to understand why you believed in him so early on and came out for him so early.
Yeah, and actually, if you look back, I reached out to him in the fall of 2014. And when he came to a convention here in Las Vegas in November 2014, I held an event for him. So I've been doing presidential politics, I said, since President Carter. And I understand how it works. And basically, there's different people out there, but you always need two people. And knowing the Clintons and knowing how moderate they are, I guess is the best way to describe them, I knew that, or at least I hoped there would be a progressive alternative to them. I was looking around. Elizabeth Warren was making noise, but it looked like she wasn't going to do it. I could see Bernie was actually looking out there and seeing if she's not going to run, then there's a vacuum, a void, and he was looking at running. So I reached out to him, stayed in touch with him, and I was happy to join in with him because the reality is, Clinton had everybody and their uncle already lined up in Nevada and all around the country. So if I jumped on that ship, it wasn't going to make any difference. And I think that if we don't start to the left in the Democratic Party, you end up so far to the right that there's no point. There's really no dime's worth of difference between the parties. And that's the problem with the Clintons. They are middle of the road to start with. Then they start negotiating. And before you know it, you've negotiated away everything.
You just said something that I say on my show all the time, is that coming from the left, we actually have to come from the left. And we can't start our negotiations dead smack in the center, or else we will keep getting pushed further and further to the right, which has been the case. In my opinion, we've been doing that at least since 1981. We've been pushing further and further to the right. And so I absolutely love that assessment. So that takes me to some general questions. I know you have some specific things that are happening in your district and in your state. And before we get into those specific things, tell